The 2020 class has produced 4 superstar quarterbacks, and 3 of them are in the top 5 of the 2022 MVP race right now at this time of week 12. And I honestly think it's crazy because they're all from the same class and nobody thought to say this class. If you want more videos like this, drop a big like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, make sure your post notifications is on all. We're going to get straight into the video, man. First up, we got Joe Burrow. He was coming off a historic senior season at LSU, putting up 5,600 yards plus 60 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions with a 76.3% completion percentage. Bro is really going crazy. Joe Burrow also go on to win the national championship game. He had a crazy year. He also became the 16th player to ever win the Heisman and win a national championship in the same year. Offensive MVP, Heisman, championship, just a crazy year. Coming into the following year, everybody knew he was going to get drafted first, and it ended up happening. He got picked in the 2020 draft with the first pick overall in the first round to the Cincinnati Bengals. The media was saying that he'll go through growing pains because he's coming from LSU and they had a loaded offense, and he was going to Cincinnati with the worst roster in the NFL, and he didn't have those same weapons around him, and they just didn't know how he would transition, but they knew he was franchise quarterback from the beginning. He would go on to only play 10 games in his rookie season due to him tearing his ACL, but through those 10 games he had 65% completion percentage, 2,688 yards, 13 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. He had 3 games with 300 or more yards, which broke a record. And he also went for 400 yards one time that season. And it was just unfortunate that he was injured with still 6 weeks left in the season. But he was ready to come back stronger than ever. That following draft in 2021, they went to go get his best friend Jamar Chase, and they showed the NFL why you should draft college teammates who have played with each other prior. They went absolutely stupid. Jamar Chase had an historic season in 2021, as you know. But before all this success, they all thought that this was going to be a bad move because his offensive line is the reason why he got injured his rookie season. He was sacked 32 times. Jamar Chase literally had a historic rookie season. He had 81 receptions for 1,455 receiving yards, 18 yards a catch, with a long catch of 82 yards and 13 touchdowns. The man went absolutely crazy, and they showed that they obviously didn't need the offensive lineman. That wasn't it though. Joe Burrow had a crazy season as well. 70% completion percentage, 4,611 passing yards, 34 touchdowns to only 14 interceptions. Not to mention, them boys made a Super Bowl appearance for the first time in a long time. Playoffs, they battled it out with Patrick Mahomes, Ryan Tannehill. They went on a crazy playoff run, and it was something to build for the future, definitely. And it continued to this year. As of right now, in week 12, he has a 69% completion percentage, 2,890 passing yards, 22 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions. If he keeps progressing the way he is and putting up the stats he is now, he's going to stay among the top quarterbacks in the NFL for a long time. He's definitely one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, and it's only been about 2.5 years since he's been in the NFL. On to the next quarterback. Tua would also have a crazy year in college in 2019 with a 71 completion percentage, 2,840 yards, 11.3 yards per attempt, along with 33 touchdowns. Tua went absolutely crazy, only 3 interceptions. The man's stats were through the roof. Tua only losing a couple games literally throughout his whole entire career. NFL teams were still worried about his injuries, and they were picking between him and Joe Burrow, and they obviously chose Joe Burrow first. So with the 5th pick in the 2020 draft, the Miami Dolphins selected Tua Tagovailoa. Tua wouldn't make his first start until week 7 of his rookie season against the Los Angeles Rams, and through his first 2 seasons, he wasn't having terrible stats, but he wasn't having franchise quarterback type stats that make you think that he can change the organization. His rookie season in 2020, he had a 64.1 completion percentage, doing for 1,814 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, which is not bad at all. But then again, they're looking for a franchise quarterback. So then in the next year, they give him Jalen Waddle in the 2021 draft. His completion percentage shoots up to 67.8. He goes for 2,653 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Granted, he only played 13 games in 2021, and to this point, they haven't seen a full season of it yet, so they decided to go out and give him another weapon in Tyreek Hill just to see if Tua can make them contenders or not. They gave him all the weapons around him offensively and defensively. They left no excuses out there for Tua to do nothing but go out there and ball. And that's exactly what Tua's doing right now. In every single game this year that Tua has finished, the Miami Dolphins are undefeated. He has a 71 completion percentage this year, 2,265 yards, 18 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, and this is through week 12 of the NFL season. Him and 2 other players I'm talking about in this video are top 5 right now for the MVP honors of the 2022 season. So you can't say Tua is not doing his job. On to the next quarterback. We got Justin Herbert. In his senior season in 2019, he would go absolutely stupid, throwing for a 66% completion percentage, 3,471 passing yards, 8.1 per passing attempt, 32 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. But because how talented the quarterback class was, he still ended up being only the 3rd quarterback off of the draft board. The Los Angeles Chargers would go on to select him 1 pick after Tua was selected with the 6th overall pick in the 2020 draft. And he would make sure they didn't regret it. Herbert had the most early success out of everybody in his class so far. Herbert's rookie campaign was literally one for the books. He set records for most passing touchdowns, 31, most completions, 396, most 300-yard passing games with 8 of them, and he did it all in only 15 games. It didn't take Herbert a long time to get adjusted to the league at all. He's immediately became a superstar. He would continue his streak of breaking records. The next season in 2021, he had a 65.9 completion percentage, throwing for 5,014 yards. Yes, 5,000. 38 touchdowns to only 15 interceptions. The man has yet to have a playoff win or a playoff appearance, but he's been going crazy this season already. There's only week 12 currently. He has a 66.6 completion percentage, 2,730 yards, 16 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. He's a top 10 quarterback out of the 2020 class. That's 3 top 10 quarterbacks already selected in the top 10 of this 2020 draft class. And you can't forget the last one. Jalen Hurts will wait for one more player to come off the draft board in Jordan Love, then he will be the 4th quarterback to come off the draft board. Jalen transferred to Oklahoma that season, and he did not disappoint. Had a 69 completion percentage, 3,851 passing yards, 32 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions, not to mention the 1,298 rushing yards he had on the ground, with also 21 rushing touchdowns on the ground. The man went absolutely stupid. Came second in Heisman behind only Joe Burrow because he had that legendary season that same year. All that being said, he was picked in the 2nd round by the Philadelphia Eagles with the 53rd pick in the 2020 draft. There was already a franchise quarterback there at the time in Carson Wentz, but he had a terrible season, putting up crazy numbers, had only a little over 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions, something crazy like that. Jalen Hurts got inserted and only ended up playing in 4 games his rookie season. He managed to have a 52% completion percentage, 1,061 passing yards, 6 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and you can't forget the 354 yards on the ground and 3 of those touchdowns. And don't forget, this is only in 4 games. He only played and started in 4 games his rookie season. In his rookie season, the Eagles only won 4 games, so they were basically going into a rebuild. So for the 2021 season, they gave him the starting job. He basically got a new coach, new receiver in Devontae Smith in a 2021 draft, and he definitely showed a lot of improvement from that rookie year. His completion percentage almost went up 10% from 52 to 63. He threw for 3,144 yards, 16 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Can't forget about his 784 yards on the ground and 10 touchdowns. The 784 yards led all quarterbacks. He had the most rushing yards out of all quarterbacks for the 2021 season. It's not the best season in the world, but like I said, it's definitely something to build on. And Howie and the Eagles definitely knew they had something in Jalen because they kept him around for the next season. They would get Jalen and the team all types of weapons, defensively, offensively. A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick. You know the list. I'm not going to go over all the players. We all know the offseason acquisitions, how we made. He built the team around Jalen, and basically the same thing the Miami Dolphins did with Tua. We're going to put a whole team around you and give you zero excuses to not have a great season this year, and that's exactly what Jalen Hurts is doing right now. Himself, Tua, and Joe Burrow are currently in Week 12 in the top 5 for odds to win the MVP, and that's honestly just crazy to me because they're all from the same draft class. 12 weeks through the new 2022 NFL season, Jalen Hurts has thrown for a 68 completion percentage from 61.3 to 68.3. That's a whole 8 points up. Second of all, he threw for 2,407 yards already. He's on track to throw for at least 4,000 yards. He has 440 yards on the floor already and 8 touchdowns on the ground, along with 15 touchdowns in the air and only 3 interceptions. He's taking care of the ball, and he's doing everything you would ask any quarterback to do. His name is in the MVP talks, and most of all, his team has the best record in the NFL as of right now. The Eagles have a 9-1 record. They're at the top of the NFC, the top of the NFL. And Jalen Hurts is basically doing everything he has to do. Y'all let me know if y'all enjoyed this video. This video is going to come to an end. I thought this was an interesting video because, shoot, 3 of the 2020 quarterbacks are top 5 in MVP voting right now. And it's honestly crazy to me because they came from the same class. And this class, I wouldn't say they expected them to do this early. But yeah, y'all drop a big like on this video if you want more videos like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure your post notifications are on all. It's been your boy Sammy 2 times, and I'm going to get up out of here, man.
I love you, Princess.
Put a switch on my glizzy, got me feeling dizzy. Ay, she asked me how was my day, it was hella busy. Ay.